Hello everybody, welcome to EPG Pathsala. The title of my module is UN Convention on the Rights of the Child 1989 under the paper called Child Rights. The basic tenets of this module are 1. Learning outcomes, introduction, objectives of UN Convention on the Rights of the Child 1988, hereafter it is called UNCRC 2, and fourth, provision for rights of the child in UNCRC 1989, and finally with the summary of the module. Now let us do with the learning outcomes first. The learning outcomes are 1. This module helps the students to know about the major international convention on the rights of the child UNCRC 1989. By doing with this module, students will come to know that this is a significant convention binding on the state parties to provide legal measures to see the comprehensive development of the child of all nations. Now we shall deal with the introduction. Declaration on the Rights of the Child 1959 is an early initiative and it reads, the child by reason of his physical and mental immaturity needs special safeguards and care, including appropriate legal measures before as well as after birth. The child cannot express as an adult of its pain and hardships. So, the World Health Organization defines health as a state of complete physical, social and mental well-being and not merely an absence of disease or infirmity. Due to poverty, parental literacy, social and economic backwardness of nations, many children today are unable to be born healthy and to develop in the full sense. Projections for the year 2030 on child statistics are very alarming. Look at the data. Almost 70 million children may die before reaching their 5th birthdays by 2030. Children in sub-Saharan Africa will be 10 times more likely to die before their 5th birthdays than children in the high-income nations. Data from a range of low and middle income countries show that around 120 million girls under 20 years of age, that means about 1 in 10, have been subjected to forced sexual intercourse or other forced sexual acts. Globally, an estimated 230 million children currently live in countries and areas which are affected by armed conflicts, and tens of thousands of children each year are recruited in the dealing with the armed conflicts. 160 million children, representing 11% of all children, are engaged in child labor and 50% of them are working in hazardous conditions. Don't you think this is very highly alarming? About 1/3 of women aged 20 to 20 years in the developing world are getting married in their childhood itself, and this leads to approximately 30 million girls at risk of a problem called female genital mutilation cutting or FGMC. Approximately 2 million children continue to live in residential care instead of living with families happily. Yes, this is the plight of children today. International states thought of child's protection from these and many hazards since a long time. The United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child 1999 is the result of many earlier concerns for child and many international initiatives. The Child Labour Convention adopted 1999, Geneva Declaration of the Rights of the Child 1924, Universal Declaration of Human Rights 1948, Declaration of the Rights of the Child adopted by General Assembly on 20th November 1959 and also Minimum Age Convention in 1973. These are the some major initiatives in this regard. Also conventions, namely International Convention on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights 1966 and International Convention on Civil and Political Rights 1968, also Declaration of Alma Ata in 1978 and Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, which is also called CEDAW 1979, and also Declaration on the Right to Development of 1986. These are the some other international initiatives to evolve the present major convention for the rights of the child, we call as the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child, and this was adopted and opened for signature, ratification and accession by General Assembly Resolution of UN in 1989 and entered into force on 2nd September 1990. There are also other initiatives like World Summit 1990 and the Worst Forms of Child Labour Convention 1999, and this also came into force to protect the rights of the child affected due to various social and economic factors existing in the nations. Now, we shall deal with the major objectives of the UN International Convention on the Rights of the Child 1989. In fact, many of these objectives were seriously identified in the earlier initiatives and conventions just now we have mentioned. And these objectives include recognition of inherent dignity and of equal and inalienable rights for the child, and this is the major objective, and entitlements of right to child without discrimination of any kind, and this is another objective. This right protects from discriminations based on race, color, sex, language, religion, social origin, property, birth or any other such discriminating tendency which deprives the child from the availment of rights. Further, there are other goals of the convention to provide for special care and assistance for the child. Also, there are appropriate legal protections before and after child's birth. Yeah, child needs protection and care at each stage of its tender life for its physical and social progress of life. The convention also thought of child's brought up in family environment where the child can grow in happiness, love and understanding. These are the required things for the growth of the child. Also consideration for cultural values. This is another objective. So, CRC convention aims at international cooperation to protect the child. Now, we shall go into the details of the rights of the child in the convention. Keeping in view of these aims, the text of the convention, for the sake of convenience, we have divided into 4 parts. The part 1 deals with the nature of rights described in 41 articles, and then part 2 of the convention deals with the progress of the child by parties to the convention and implemented to a selective committee. State parties submit reports to this committee, and the part 3 of the convention constitute articles 46 to 54 which deal with the proposed amendments by the state parties to the convention. Hence, according to the convention, once a state or a nation becomes party to the convention, it is obligated to see the rights mentioned in UN Convention 1989 are very well followed. Before entering into the details of the rights assured in the convention, one has to look at one significant aspect of convention, that is embedded in the article 3 of part 1 of the convention. This cautions the state the way it should protect the child. This article reads, in all actions concerning children, whether undertaken by public or private social welfare institutions, courts of law or administrative authorities or legislative bodies, the best interest of the child shall be a primary consideration. So, this is the major focus. Hence, the state parties are supposed to keep always this aspect called the best interest of the child in their minds. For the sake of convenience, again the rights of the child here are presented under 4 categories. These are right to survival and health, right to development, right to participation and right to protection. There are some other essential articles which are applicable and common to for all these categories of rights. These are: 1. Definition of the right, definition of the child, and child's right to equal treatment. These 2 are essential. And as per the Convention on the Rights of the Child, Article 1 states that children means every human being below the age of 18 years, unless under the law the applicable to the child majority is attained earlier. Further, right to equal treatment is dealt in the Article 2(1) subsection of the Convention. This deals with the child's right without discrimination, irrespective of child or his or her parents, legal guardians, race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national, ethnic or social origin, property, disability, birth or other status. Also, this article provides for appropriate measures to protect the child against discrimination or punishment on the basis of the status, activities, expressed opinions or beliefs of the child's parents, legal guardians or family members. Now, we shall deal with the right to survival and health of the child. Child is taken care well in the provisions of the Convention through different articles. Right to life recognizes every child's inherent right to life and to ensure the maximum extent possible the survival and development of the child through its Article 6. And right for parental care from parents, legal guardians are provided in the Article 3. This article also ensures some standards established by competent authorities. It makes parents or others legally responsible for the child to provide appropriate guidance in a manner consistent with the evolving capacities of the child in Article 5. Right to preserve identity, family relations, name and nationality is also provided for the child in the from the Article 8 to 9. And appropriate assistance and protection when a child is illegally deprived of his or her identity are also provided in the article. See that the child shall not be separated from parents against their will unless the judicial review determines so. Article 11 provides for measures to combat the illicit transfer and non-return of children from abroad, and also provides for this purpose bilateral or multilateral agreements in this regard. Article 22 to subsection for protection of a refugee child is in accordance with the international law or domestic law of the child to trace the parents or other members. Further, right to standard of health, standard of living and nutrition is a major provision that makes state parties to recognize the rights of the child for the enjoyment of highest attainable standard of health and to provide for facilities for the treatment of illness and rehabilitation of help through Article 24(1). This right to standard health also provides for the implementation of this Article 24 article and subsection 22. It has a vast scope that it makes care of many steps to diminish infant mortality for primary health care, nutritious food, clean and drinking water, and to combat disease and malnutrition, environmental pollution, and steps to provide appropriate prenatal and postnatal health care are some other aspects of this article, and then further related with the right to health, and also provision for information and education of basic knowledge of child's health and nutrition, of the advantages of breastfeeding, hygiene and environmental sanitation, and the prevention of accidents, measures to develop preventive health care, guidance for parents and family planning, education and services, and care to abolish traditional practices which are prejudicial to the health of the children, are also some other measures which are provided in the Article 24 of the Convention. This article also provides for a periodic review of the treatment for the purpose of care, protection of his or her physical or mental health. And there is another article, Article 27, which is a important article which recognizes the rights of every child to a standard of living for the child's physical, mental, spiritual, moral and social development through this article called 27 and subsection. Article 27 insists state parties to recognize the right of every child to a standard of living adequate for the child's health. Just now we have mentioned about this spiritual, moral and social development. It also provides for secure conditions of living and measures to assist parents and others for child's nutrition, also for clothing and housing. And Article 27 also takes measures for recovery of maintenance for the child from the parents or other persons who are within the state and from abroad. It also holds that state parties shall promote accession to international agreements. Concern for the rights of the disabled child is another significant provision embedded in the Convention on the Rights of the Child. It is through Article 23 recognizes that a mentally or a physically disabled child should enjoy a full and decent life in conditions which ensure dignity, promote self-reliance and facilitates the child's active participation in the community. It also recognizes that special care and assistance be provided free of charge. It also provides for effective access to education, training, healthcare services, rehabilitation services and preparation for enjoyment of opportunities and recreation opportunities which are conducive to cultural and spiritual development of the child. And this article obligates state parties to promote the spirit of international cooperation and to exchange appropriate information on preventive health care, methods of rehabilitation and also for education and vocational services, keeping in view of the needs of the developing countries and also the disabled children. We shall deal with the right to development, which is a very significant right, and it is provided in different sections of the CERC 1989. These provisions on the right to development include parental support for early childhood development and provision for adoption and alternative care and provisions for refugee child, also for social security and education and also for respect for child's personality and child's right to leisure and recreation and also for cultural activities. Now we shall deal with the parental support for the early childhood. This article obligates state parties to ensure the maximum extent possible for the survival and development of child through Article 6 and parental responsibility for upbringing and development of the child by parents or as the case may be of a legal guardian, then for the best interest of the child will be their basic concern expressed in Article 18 of the Convention. This article insists that state parties to render appropriate assistance to parents and legal guardians in performance of their child rearing responsibilities and to ensure the development of institutions and facilities and services for children through Article 18. The convention also obligates the state parties to appropriate measures and to ensure the children of the working parents, which is a special provision, and which where the right to benefit has for the child through child care services and also facilities through Article 18. And this is a very important provision we have to consider it. Recognition for the system of adoption and inter-country adoption and necessary safeguards and standards for equivalent to those national adoption are also provided in the Article 21. Now provisions for refugee child, these include appropriate protection and humanitarian assistance and efforts to trace the parents of other members of the family of a refugee child through Article 22. Further, there is a right for social security which makes state parties to recognize for every child's right to benefit from social security, including social insurance, in according with their existing national law. Now, Article 26, there the provision is there for the right to education embedded in the Article 28 as a necessary right to development. So, this is linked with Article right. Article 28 obligates state parties to make provisions for primary education compulsory. It encourages the development of secondary education, and Article 28 makes higher education accessible to all, and it makes educational and national information and guidance available and accessible to all children, and it takes measures to encourage regular attendance of children, and also it says that dropout rate of children is reduced. Further, child's right to development is inclusive of a necessary provision, that is respect for child's personality. We hardly think of that child too is a person and we are supposed to treat him as an individual. Article 29 of the convention provides for respect for child's personality and his talents, for his mental and physical abilities. Article 29 further provides for human rights and fundamental freedoms of the child and respect for child's parents, cultural identity, language and values of country, and understanding of peace and tolerance and equality of sexes and friendship among all and respect for natural environment are some other aspects that are dealt in this right to development. We should also know that child's right to development is incomplete if the child is not provided with his right to leisure and also recreation and cultural activities. This right recognizes that the child right to leisure, play and recreational activities, participation in cultural activities and also rights through Article 31. Further, Article 20 provides for adoption, alternative care and special protection by the state to the children who are temporarily or permanently deprived of his or her family with the national laws. It also pays due regard when considering solutions to the child's ethnic, religious, cultural and linguistic backgrounds through Article 23. It is also a major right of child to participation, respect for the views of the child and his freedom of expression, right to access for appropriate information and freedom of thought and right to conscience and religion. These are the rights under right to participation. Now we shall deal with the right to expression. This provides for due weight in accordance with the age and maturity of the child through its Article 12. Child has an opportunity to be heard in any judicial and administrative procedure affecting the child. Further, the child has a right to seek, require and impart information and ideas of all kinds through any media of child size through Article 13. and the convention respects right of child to freedom of thought, conscience and religion that is provided in Article 14. Right to participation includes right to freedom of association and peaceful assembly is provided in Article 15. And Article 16 prohibits unlawful attacks and interferences, and it states that no child be subjected to arbitrary or unlawful interference with his or privacy, family, home or correspondence, and this provides for child with his right to protection against the interference or attacks. Thus, right to access to information from media, from diversity of national and international resources is available for child through Article 17(1). It also provides cultural benefit of the child. To meet this provision for the child, the state parties must act in accordance with the spirit of Article 29, which deals with the right to education as a preparation for development of a child's personality. Again, through Article 17A, right to respect for child's background, which is also a part of right to participation. It provides for due regard for child's ethnic, religious, cultural and linguistic backgrounds through its Article 20 subsection 4. And every child has a right to enjoy his or her own culture, to prefer and practice, can use his or her own language through this article called Article 20, right to protection. And the convention provides many provisions through its convention. Right to protection includes freedom from economic exploitation, right to protection from illicit use of drugs, right to freedom from sexual abuse, right to protection from sale of traffic in children, and duties of state to protect the child from other forms of exploitation, right to protection from inhuman, degrading treatment and neglect, right to protection from armed conflicts, provisions for state measures for reintegrations of victims of any neglect, rights of alleged or accused child for dignity and provision for minimum age against infringement of law or other provisions for under right to protection. We have to look into the details of these through Article 32, which provides for right to freedom from economic exploitation and free from performing any work that is likely to be hazardous or to interfere with a child's education or to be harmful to the child's health or physical, mental, spiritual, moral or social development. So, states are obliged to provide necessary legislative and administrative measures to provide for minimum age through appropriate regulation and also with appropriate penalties. When child is employed in such a hazardous places, right to protection from illicit use of drugs is another provision which provides for appropriate measures including legislative, administrative, social and educational measures to protect the child from the illicit use of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances as defined in the relevant international treaties and to prevent the use of children in the use of such illicit productions and trafficking of such substances through its Article 33. Right to freedom from sexual abuse, which is a protected right through Article 34. This article insists for appropriate national and multilateral measures against coercive and exploitative use of child in prostitution and use of children in pornographic literature performance or such materials. The right to protection from the sale of traffic or sale of children or traffic in children, there is a provision for through national, bilateral multilateral measures to prevent the abduction of the sale or traffic in children. Article 35 takes care of such measures. And again, Article 36 of the Convention holds that state parties should protect the child from other forms of exploitation. Provision for protection from torture or cruel or inhuman degrading is provided in Article 37. And further, state parties have to recognize the right of every child, alleged or accused of or recognized as having infringed the penal law, to be treated in a manner consistent with the promotion of child's development, child's sense of dignity, and through its Article 40. And Article 40b provides with certain guarantees for every child who is alleged or accused of penal law, and it presumes that child as an innocent until proven guilty according to this law. Other provisions include in this article right to have appropriate assistance for the preparation and presentation of his or defense for a review of by a higher competent judicial body. Also, it provides for free assistance and for privacy at all stages of the proceedings of the court. As to provision for minimum age against infringement of law, Article 43 provides for establishment of minimum age for the children regarding infringement of law and for legal safeguards and with appropriate measures. Now, we shall look into the provisions of UN Convention 1918. These are provisions for disposition as guidance, foster care, etc. Article 44 obligates state parties to provide for children with a variety of dispositions such as care, guidance, and supervision, counseling, probation, foster care, education, also vocational training, and also for alternative institutional care which is proportionate to that offence committed. Article 41 states that nothing in the present convention shall affect any provision which are more conducive to the rights of the child and which may be contained in the law of a state party or in an international law which is in force for the state that gives violence to the children. Obligation of international states for transmission of reports. Part 1 of the convention deals with the rights of the child. Part 2 of the convention makes the parties to oblige to the select committee constituted as per the rules prescribed in the Article 43 of the convention, and it obligates the state parties to submit a report within 2 years after the entry into the force of the convention as per Article 44(1)(a), and thereafter every 5 years as per Article 44(1)(b). And Article 44 of in bracket 5 insists that these reports, which are comprehensive, shall be submitted to the General Assembly through Economic and Social Council every 2 years. Article 5b of the Part 2 provides for transmission of the reports to the specialized agencies of the United Nations Children Fund in order to transfer the effective implementation of the convention. And the committee can also make suggestions and recommendations based on the information received as per Article 45d. UN Convention aims basically for the relief of child from drudgery to development. Let us summarize the provisions that we have dealt with. UN Convention aims at such rights of the child which will be the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace, treating all the human beings as members of the human family. In this module, the provisions for the rights of the child, for its survival and health, for development, for protection and participation are dealt in length. Further, UN Convention insists that the state parties accountable to Convention of the Child and They have to see all the children grow up as healthy individuals. In this process, it also lays down parental responsibility and state assistance to provide a healthy environment and other provisions. A child needs good support mechanisms too in this context. Child rights study is not an exclusive study but is related to other issues as poverty of the people and many a nation and literacy and health of the people in broad categories. Thank you, viewers.